Halloween party turned strange. I've had this friend for a long time, since childhood, and recently, she broke up with her boyfriend. Or I should say she was dumped. And when did this happen? Well, right before Halloween. Usually on the 31st I like to curl up with a big bucket of candy, wearing my comfiest PJs and hanging out with a good sometimes scary movie. But this year, I knew I had to support my friend. So when she wanted to go out to a party in a neighborhood near my place, I figured there was nothing for me to do except say yes. I didn't have much in the way of a costume. So I dug up a pair of my favorite black jeans and put on a black top. That was scary enough for me. The party wasn't supposed to start until 10, but my friend texted me right at 8 that she was at the party, and that I should just come by early. I groaned mentally, but I knew she needed someone to talk to and confide in besides that D-bag who cheated on her. So I put on my boots and head over. Immediately when I get there's a weird vibe. I made a beeline for the snacks and looked around, but I couldn't see my friend anywhere. In fact, the party was basically empty. There were only a few people in some costumes that looked straight up weird. I was expecting Superman or Star Wars. Instead I saw people in long black robes, and dark, red-looking eyes. I figured it was an inside joke or maybe a movie that had come out, that I hadn't seen yet. Anyway, I chalked it up to not going out that much. It felt like an hour had passed, but finally I heard my friend. I looked around but besides the people in weird costumes I couldn't say her at all. Even so, I figured I should go and try to find her. Another weird thing about this party, was the really old tree in the yard. I couldn't figure out what it was, but I'll just say it didn't look normal. It was really big, and clearly had been around for a long time, despite this being a relatively new neighborhood. The leaves also looked dark, and the trunk was mangled, like it had been messed with somehow. I could tell my friend's voice was coming from somewhere behind the tree, so I started walking towards it. I heard my friend and she sounded like she was right next to me. I figured it was just dark. But why couldn't I see her at all? Then, things went from strange to downright bizarre. The next thing I know, I saw my friend, but there wasn't anyone around, so I don't know who she could have been talking to. I tried to ask, but she started hugging me instead, and told me how happy she was that I was here on her journey with her. It was only later that I started to question what that meant. She seemed like she wanted to say something else. She had a scared, afraid expression on her face, and she started tugging on my sleeve. That's when a random guy came over and said hi. He wasn't dressed like the others. He had a normal, Luigi costume on. "What's up, Becky?" he said to my friend. Her name is Becky. Her stone-cold expression turned into a smile. "Hey," she said. "Want me to take your picture?" he said, pulling out a camera. He took a picture on his old-school, Polaroid camera. But just then, someone came over. "Here," he said, handing me the photo. When I turned back, Becky was gone. I chalked the whole thing up to it being a weird night, and then I went home. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I was feeling pretty tired by then. And honestly, I was a little freaked. It wasn't until this morning that I dug out the photo from my bag. I couldn't believe what I saw. Should I go to the police? I haven't heard from my friend since last night. And if you want to see it, here's the pic.